Welcome to Insightful Gaming. Today, we got something truly spectacular for you. The ultimate Void Hunter build that'll make you an unstoppable solo warrior. Are you ready to dominate everything from flawless dungeons to GM? Then you're in the right place. This season's Volatile Flow mod has supercharged our build, combining stylish Executioner and 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠𝗘 exotic perks to create a powerhouse hunter that'll leave your enemies trembling. With a versatile toolkit that debuffs enemies using 3 out of 4 abilities, you'll become a force to be reckoned with. And the best part, no need to recharge any abilities. With our crafty mod setup, finish off an enemy and watch the magic unfold, invisibility, volatile rounds, and a sweet 17% damage boost for your void weapons. Plus, enjoy awesome bonuses like orb generation, full health restoration, and loads of cool interactions. Get ready to master invisibility, conquer risky finishers, and wield powerful grenade, melee, and dodge moves like never before. This build is your ticket to becoming the ultimate solo warrior. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and of course, hit that subscribe button to stay updated on all our latest content. Now that we've got you hooked on this fantastic Void Hunter build, let's delve deeper into the background of the build and see how it came to be the ultimate solo warrior experience. This versatile Void build works its magic by debuffing and taking down enemies with ease. It's perfect for everything from solo flawless dungeons to GM, making it one of the best builds for solo content in Destiny 2. The secret sauce of this build lies in the powerful combo of stylish Executioner and 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠𝗘 exotic perks, which are further enhanced this season by the Volatile Flow seasonal mod. The Hunter's toolkit in this build is remarkable, allowing you to debuff enemies with 3 out of 4 abilities, an impressive feat in D2 build crafting. What's even crazier is that you don't need any abilities to recharge for this build to work. Thanks to the ingenious mod setup, you can jumpstart or restart your whole loop just by finishing off an enemy. Doing so grants you invisibility, volatile rounds, and a 17% damage boost for all void weapons for 30 seconds. With these bonuses, you can apply volatile to groups of enemies and take down one or more to regain invisibility. One of the major perks of this build is orb generation. It allows you to gain Devour, making recuperation or better already unnecessary. Each kill rewards you with an amazing trifecta of bonuses: invisibility, full HP restoration, and volatile rounds. Now that we've covered the background in this fantastic build, let's dive into some of the coolest interactions it offers. Trust me, you're going to love the synergy between the different parts of your kit and build. First up, invisibility, the secret weapon of this build. Not only does it keep you alive in the most dangerous situations, but it also serves up a plethora of bonuses such as volatile rounds. These rounds act as a handy damage buff and utility tool, helping you regain invisibility or clear groups of enemies with ease. Plus, when you're invisible and perform a finisher, your teammates within 24 meters get an overshield and a massive 35% damage buff, the highest possible buff from a single source. Next, the finisher, a game changer in this build. As we mentioned earlier, finishing an enemy jumpstarts the entire gameplay loop from scratch, which is nothing short of incredible. Don't be afraid to go for risky finishers. Enemies are less likely to hit you, and you'll make a quick escape with your newly acquired invisibility. Lastly, let's talk about your abilities. Grenade weakens enemies by 15%, grants invisibility on kills, and creates an orb on a kill. Melee weakens enemies by 15% and grants invisibility on kills. Dodge makes you invisible, gives you volatile rounds, and makes your next kill drop an orb of power. With these incredible interactions at your fingertips, this Void Hunter build is guaranteed to keep you entertained, captivated, and in control of the battlefield. Now that we've covered the thrilling gameplay loop, let's dive into the arsenal of spectacular abilities that make our character truly formidable. First up, we've got Mobius Quiver, a mesmerizing power that tethers foes to a void anchor, leaving them weak and suppressed for you and your allies. It unleashes 2 volleys of 3 home and void arrows that wreak havoc on your enemies. Shadow Shot makes targets volatile and deals extra damage to tethered foes. And as a cherry on top, defeating tethered enemies creates orbs of power for your team. Next in our roster of awe-inspiring powers is Gambler's Dodge. With a swift tumble, you can stylishly evade enemy attacks. But wait, there's more. Dodging near enemies fully recharges your melee ability, so you can keep the action going non-stop. Moving on, we've got Snare Bomb, a crafty tool that lets you throw a smoke bomb. It sticks to surfaces and messes with enemy radar. Upon detonation, it weakens your targets, giving you the upper hand. Next up is the Void Grenade, a force to be reckoned with. It creates a vortex that irresistibly pulls targets inward, continuously damaging those trapped in its deadly embrace. But that's not all. Let's talk about our aspects. we're using Vanishing Step, which makes you invisible with a simple dodge. Talk about a cool party trick. Next, we have Stylish Executioner. Defeating weakened, suppressed, or volatile targets grants you invisibility and true sight. Plus, your next melee attack while invisible weakens your opponents, making you the ultimate stealth warrior. Finally, let's explore our fragments. First, we have Echo of Persistence, which extends the duration of void buffs, invisibility, overshield, and devour. With this build, you'll be an unstoppable force. Next, we're using Echo of Undermining, empowering your void grenades to weaken targets even further. Then there's Echo of Starvation, which grants Devour when you pick up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power. Lastly, we've got Echo of Obscurity, which rewards you with invisibility for every finisher final blow. In summary, this build transforms you into a relentless, elusive, and devastating force on the battlefield. It's time to unleash your true potential and leave your enemies quivering in fear. Let's dive into our armor mods. First up, let's check out the mods for our helmet. We're sporting 1 Ashes to Assets, which rewards you with bonus super energy for every grenade kill. Next, we've got Dynamo, which reduces super cooldowns when you use your class ability near enemies. Finally, Harmonic Siphon swoops in, spawning an Orb of Power after you achieve 2 kills. Moving on to our gloves, we've got the Magnificent Firepower mod, which helps create orbs of power with grenade final blows. We're also rocking Bolstering Detonation, granting you class ability energy after dealing grenade damage. And let's not forget Font of Focus, which provides a discipline bonus while you have any armor charge. Just remember, your armor charges will decay over time. For our chest piece, feel free to choose your favorite defensive mods. Personally, I'm running Harmonic Resistance, Solar Resistance, and Concussive Dampener to reduce incoming area of effect damage from combatants. Now, let's talk boots. We're strutting in style with 2 Void Surge mods, boosting our Void weapon damage by a whopping 17%. We've also got Stacks on Stacks, which grants an extra stack of armor charge when you pick up an Orb of Power. Last but certainly not least, our cloak is adorned with Empowered Finish, which gives you a temporary armor charge after executing a finisher final blow when you have none. We're also rocking Reaper, which spawns an Orb of Power after your next weapon final blow, following your class ability usage. And to top it all off, we're using the Time Dilation mod to extend your decaying armor charge's duration to 15 seconds. Let's take a moment to discuss the reasoning behind some of the mod choices I've made for this build. My build philosophy revolves around versatility and viability across various types of content, which explains the absence of charged up. In my opinion, it's far more advantageous to have a higher overall damage resistance rather than a theoretical minute-long damage buff. Personally, I prefer gaining 30 seconds of resistance each time I pick up an orb. Unfortunately, this means losing 1 Surge Mon and leaving no energy on our legs. Dynamo might be a debatable inclusion, but it's quite simple. Once this season ends, we'll be dodging much more often to gain invisibility and volatile rounds. Empowered Finisher could also be considered controversial, but it's instrumental in kick-starting our build. As for Font of Focus, it can be swapped out for something more suitable if you have better armor. Now, let's discuss the stats you should prioritize. The main stats to focus on are Resilience, Discipline, and Mobility. Aim for 100 Resilience and 100 Discipline consistently. Achieving this shouldn't be a challenge for anyone with decent armor. Mobility should be your 3rd highest priority stat in this build. Keep all other stats, besides Recovery, above 30 to avoid the penalty zone. Recovery can be disregarded since we'll be regaining health through Invisibility or Devour. Strength is also nearly redundant in this build. Let's breeze through our seasonal mods. For the first row, it's all about your taste and weapon choice. If you're vibing with a submachine gun, the Submachine Overload mod is your jam. More into Scout Rifles, grab the Unstoppable Scout Rifle mod. If bows are your thing, snag the Overlord mod. And don't forget the Anti-Barrier Pulse Rifle and Sidearm mod for crushing barrier champions. But wait, your subclass can also help you conquer champions. For example, with the Arc subclass, stun unstoppable champions using the blind or blinding aspects. With Solar, ignition damage does the trick. Stasis, shatter damage. And with the Strayan subclass, the Suspend aspect suspends and stuns unstoppable champions. The best part, these mods are passive and don't need any slotting. Let's shimmy over to the second row of seasonal mods. First up, the Multi-Siphon mod combines the powers of Strayan, Solar, and Void Siphon mods in your helmet. Perfect if you're into using different energy weapons and want to spawn orbs with all types. The next 4 mods slash energy costs for armor mods, affecting your Solar, Strand, Void weapons, and grenades. For example, with the Void Surge mod, you'll cut energy costs from 3 to 1. In the third row, let's chat about the vital mod here, Volatile Flow. This bad boy amps up your void weapons big time. Snag an Orb of Power and get volatile rounds, boosting damage output for some serious enemy takedown. Onto the fourth row, our void build BFF is Bricks from Beyond. Forget heavy ammo fighter mods, this one dishes out heavy ammo for you and your pals every time you off powerful combatants with a void weapon. You'll be swimming in heavy ammo. Finally, in the fifth row, we're rocking Void Weapon Channeling, granting a temporary boost to Void Weapon damage after defeating a target with a fully charged Void ability. Essential for max damage output with Void weapons. And lastly, Prismatic Transfer is fabulous for group play. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the grand finale of our build. I trust this video left you both enlightened and amused. Before we part ways, I must give a colossal thank you to everyone who's been cheering my channel on. Your support means the galaxy to me, and I'm over the moon that we can unite to geek out over Destiny. If this video tickled your fancy and you crave more, don't hesitate to drop a comment, smash that like button, and hit subscribe. Until our next rendezvous, keep hustling and may the RNG gods shower you with their blessings.